Christmas!
Merry Christmas.
Merry Krishnas!
Have you been good this year?
Been naughty and nice.
This is special Christmas edition.
Special.
With special people.
Yes, we have some extra special guests today.
They had to muscle in because last time Nitai were here, so they had to get in the picture. Well, that was a bit of a mission to get them in the picture.
Yeah, but they're here, they're there, everywhere. Okay.
Alright, it's Canto 4, Chapter 11, Text 13.
Chapter is entitled
Swayambhuva Manu advises Dhruva Maharaj.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So you bring up and you bring down. It's a concerto. Right, text 13. What's going on? Alright, anyway. The Lord is very satisfied with his devotee. When the devotee greets other people with tolerance, mercy, friendship and equality.
Wow.
Oh Lord. Purport. It is the duty of an advanced devotee in the second stage of devotional perfection to act in accordance with this verse. There are 3 stages of devotional life. In the lower stage, a devotee is simply concerned with the deity in the temple, and he worships the Lord with great devotion, according to rules and regulations. In the second stage, the devotee is cognizant of his relationship with the Lord, his relationship with fellow devotees, his relationship with persons who are innocent, and his relationship with persons who are envious. Sometimes devotees are ill-treated by envious persons. It is advised that an advanced devotee should be tolerant. He should show complete mercy to persons who are ignorant or innocent. A preacher devotee is meant to show mercy to innocent persons whom he can elevate to devotional service. Everyone by constitutional position is an eternal servant of God. Therefore, a devotee's business is to awaken everyone's Krishna consciousness. That is his mercy. As for a devotee's treatment of other devotees who are his equals, he should maintain friendship with them. His general view should be to see every living entity as part of the Supreme Lord. Different living entities appear in different forms of dress, but according to the instruction of the Bhagavad Gita, a learned person sees all living entities equally. Such treatment by the devotee is very much appreciated by the Supreme Lord. It is said, therefore, that a saintly person is always tolerant and merciful. He is a friend to everyone, never an enemy to anyone, and he is peaceful. These are some of the good qualities of a devotee. Well, I was chanting my rounds today in the temple, and I was realising how tested I am by devotees, if I can be honest, just to get down and real and relate to the viewers. Because I was sitting there, like, in the morning after Mangal Arati and that, chant my rounds, and someone on one side of me shoved me a bit, didn't touch me but moved me, and I was like, whatever, I was going to sit there, so I had to get over that. And then the other side of me, for me it was like, why can't you chant properly? Because it was chanting a certain way. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, I'm saying this is how I experienced it. And that's how I was experiencing it. So then for a while it was like, I had to tell my mind and myself, why don't you just chant? So I had to pull myself away from the person on one side of me who whatever, and then the other side, and it's like the mind is like, oh my god. So then, okay, sort that out. And then you always have people, I don't know why, but they need to walk around Tulsi. So then it's like the racing tracks, you have different lanes. Quite frankly, the outside lane shouldn't be walked on, because then you're coming too near me. Quite frankly, I'm sitting on the ground against the wall, for heaven's sakes. Don't walk on the outside track. But that's what happened, because Krishna has to send that when I'm there. So I had to get over that. And then there's one devotee that sits on the other side of the temple, and we tend to sit opposite, as it were. But I could hear them chanting, and that was also affecting me. So it's so interesting, isn't it? Like, here you've got Krishna saying that a devotee greets other people, let alone Vaishnavas who've made the effort to go. How many people wake up in that time of the morning, get dressed and go to the temple to see God in his pajamas? And then some people do that, but they don't all stick around for the graveyard shift, as it were, which is, now we'll sit down for 1.5, 2 hours and just chant, because that's an austerity in itself, just to stay in that one room and just to do that. And Krishna is saying, you should. The Lord is very satisfied when his devotees are treating people with tolerance, mercy, friendship and equality. So there you go, like a barometer of where one is, as it were. Because if you can't even do that with devotees, how are you going to do that with everyone else? And Krishna does say in the Bhagavad Gita, my devotee, isn't it, is kind to all living entities. I had to just share that.
So, where are you at with it? That you were challenged this morning, but now you're reading this and you're thinking, oh, I could have dealt with it differently, or you're thinking, no, I dealt with it the way I dealt with it, or I'm thinking, where are you at with it now?
I know, I dealt with it really well, because I didn't act on it, or at least the way I wanted to.
So would you say you were tolerant?
Very tolerant, very.
Well, yeah. And is it tolerance when someone says, I'm being tolerant? Is that
very tolerant? I was. Because I kept I'm not trying to say I chant good rounds or anything, but I'm saying I kept bringing it back to, why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you sitting there? Oh yeah, I need to chant my rounds. Oh, focus, because the words were coming out, doesn't mean you're focusing. But it's interesting how just kept going there and there and there and there, because the temple rooms are very big as well. And sometimes I look over there because the men are on that side. Well, what are they doing? Why is that one doing that? Oh my days. It was like that.
Interesting. Yeah. So if you can relate, put it down the bottom.
Yeah. Hopefully someone relates.
Text 14. One who actually satisfies the Supreme Personality of Godhead during one's lifetime becomes liberated from the gross and subtle material conditions. I can't wait for that. Thus, being freed from all material modes of nature, he achieves unlimited spiritual bliss. Purport. In the previous verse, it has been explained that one should treat all living entities with tolerance, mercy, friendship, and equality. By such behavior, one satisfies the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and upon his satisfaction, the devotee immediately becomes free from all material conditions. The Lord also confirms this in Bhagavad Gita, quote, anyone who sincerely and seriously engages in my service immediately becomes situated in the transcendental stage wherein he can enjoy unlimited spiritual bliss, end quote. Everyone in this material world is struggling hard in order to achieve the blissful life. Unfortunately, people do not know how to achieve it. Atheists do not believe in God, and certainly they do not please him. Here it is clearly said that upon pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one immediately attains to the spiritual platform and enjoys unlimited blissful life. To become free from material existence means to become free from the influence of material nature. To become free from material existence means to become free from the influence of material nature. Anyway, very, very nice statements here. Back to that tolerance, mercy, friendship, and equality. But this statement, sincere and serious. Anyone who sincerely and seriously engages in my service immediately becomes situated on the transcendental stage. Now, the words that stood out to me, and then wherein he can enjoy unlimited spiritual bliss. So first you see sincere, serious, immediately, and unlimited. Those are the kind of 4 key words. So first you have to be sincere and you have to be serious. Prabhupada says that again and again. Sincere comes from the Latin sincere, which means free from wax. I think we've explained it before. It's to do with marble. Serious means that, we have to be sincere, which means free from duplicity, and serious, which means, yes, I want to make spiritual progress. I want to chant nicely. I want to read. I want to treat devotees properly. I want to do. So we have to be serious. And then it says, immediately you become situated on the transcendental stage. This is always a difficult one when it becomes immediately. Like, is it really immediately? Like, boom, there it is. Or is it like immediate, like in the day of Lord Brahma? Immediate, like, that's pretty immediate if you look at it from the day of Lord Brahma. And then the last one is unlimited spiritual bliss. So, I guess once we actually come to that platform of being truly sincere and serious in our endeavor, then we will immediately come to the spiritual platform and we will experience unlimited spiritual bliss. So sometimes it's not in this world that you get what you're waiting for, because this world's a temporary place. Sometimes you have to wait to get what's coming in the afterworld.
Well, that's a small print.
No, that's been on the contract from the beginning.
Is it?
Back to Godhead, that usually.
But chant and be happy.
Yeah, so chant and be happy is okay, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're completely liberated and going to experience unlimited spiritual bliss.
Okay.
But that's just a thought. Just a thought.
Alright, next paragraph. The word samprasane, which is used in this verse, means being satisfied. A person should act in such a way that the Lord is satisfied by the activity. It is not that he himself is to be satisfied. Of course, when the Lord is satisfied, the devotee automatically becomes satisfied. This is the secret of the process of Bhakti Yoga. Outside of Bhakti Yoga, everyone is trying to satisfy himself. No one is trying to satisfy the Lord. Karmis grossly try to satisfy their senses. But even those who are elevated to the platform of knowledge also try to satisfy themselves in a subtle form. Karmis try to satisfy themselves by sense gratification, and Gyanis try to satisfy themselves by subtle activities or mental speculation and thinking themselves to be God. Yogis also try to satisfy themselves by thinking that they can achieve different mystic perfections, but only devotees try to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotee's process of self-realization is completely different from the processes of the karmis, gyanis and yogis. Everyone else is trying to satisfy himself, whereas the devotee tries only to satisfy the Lord. The devotional process is completely different from the others. By working to please the Lord, by engaging his senses, in the Lord's loving service, the devotee is immediately situated on the transcendental platform, and he enjoys unlimited blissful life.
Interesting.
So the key is to satisfy Krishna. So it's interesting going back to that example at the beginning, because I was getting annoyed with different people. Tested.
You will be tested.
But the point is, in terms of, say, japa, you can chant and it can be like sandpaper, really rough and horrible. But you should still do it and enjoy it. Why? Because Krishna may be cool with that. Because Krishna may be like, I just want to see you make some endeavour and some austerity as such. Not suffer. Austerity doesn't have to mean you suffer, but some endeavour and austerity to call my name out. And that's enough for me. Now, regardless of whether I turn on the Bhakti tap, as it were, Bhakti Rus tap for you to taste my names, that's up to me. But let me see where you're at. And I could go on for the rest of your life, but you could sit down sincerely, make sure you're nice and clean, doesn't mean you have to wake up in the middle of the night, because he'll see what effort you make when you make to chant the rounds. It could, when it's practical for you, as it were, because it may not be practical because of your living situation, your family or otherwise. And he may never turn that taste on in this lifetime, as it were, but you could be pleasing him so many millions of times more than someone who's making a big show of it, and I've got to cry and roll on the floor and whatnot, or whatever. Someone who does get a taste, because sometimes when we get the taste, depending on the maturity, as it were, pride can come in. Pride and just taking it for granted almost, so the key in Krishna consciousness is just please Krishna. And ultimately Prabhupada, as a pure devotee, has told us, follow the 4 regs, chant Hare Krishna. So just by following Prabhupada's instruction, Prabhupada said we should chant the 4 regs and chant 16 rounds.
Chant the 4 regs.
Oh, that's how we're going wrong.
4 regs.
That's how we're going wrong, all these years. So even if you just follow those examples, those instructions, that will please Krishna, because Prabhupada is his
pure devotee.
So at least, they're trying to follow so how Prabhupada set it up so nicely that generation after generation after generation will get mercy. Even if, because it's just because you're following his instruction. Whoever comes after us and blah 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 blah. What's this book? Oh yeah, look, he says here we should follow these 4 regs, and we should be vegetarian, and we should chant round, we should chant this. So I'll follow Prabhupada, this teacher called Prabhupada. As the years go on, Prabhupada becomes even more in the distant and mystical almost, But it don't matter, because
his Vapu form, his personal form.
Yeah.
But his Vani, his instruction, may become more and more prominent and relevant.
Personally, we never saw him, but still there's a sense of presence, yeah. Sure. He was on the planet when we were little babies. But the point is, people will still get Krishna's favour nonetheless. Business, I feel, anyway, because they're accepting Prabhupada's instructions, and so Prabhupada set up so nicely for us to fulfill this verse and this purport, which is just somehow please Krishna, even though we're not qualified to do it. It's just a few thoughts on my part.
Beautiful thoughts, amazing. I had one. I was going to add, I can't remember what it was now.
Oh.
But anyway, I think you said it all so nicely.
Oh, thank you.
So Merry Christmas. Remember, the goal of everything is just simply to please Krishna. So with whatever you do, really sincerely try to please Krishna. Act in such a way that is pleasing to Krishna. And let go of any anxiety, stress, or upset that you have, and try to be in a peaceful mind and see Krishna's hand in everything. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you all very much for tuning in, and I guess we'll see you again in a couple of days. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Devi Ki.
Jai.
Jai.